What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, bringing you first today the deck profile for the Flundereeze Slifer deck, and tomorrow this should all Winged Dragon of Ra Obelisk side of it. And then after that, I'm probably going to go into a Sky Striker video because Engage is back, and I find that kind of, fairly interesting. But before I start this deck profile, and I'll go through it really quickly, I just want to say thank you to everybody, by the way. You guys have been so active in the comments section, and I really look forward to making these videos every day simply because of the community I get to interact with. So thank you guys very much. You guys legitimately keep me going and make me want to make these videos, I guess I should say. So we'll go through it now. I run 2 Slifer. I feel like this is you really want to get it to your hand through the true name. So that's kind of the reasoning behind it. And you can't always go through your Flundereeze and then end on Slifer. It's kind of a going second. There are some good, if you have 2 level 1s in your hand, then you can go to Slifer. But other than that, no, you cannot. And that's the reason for that. But onto the Flundereeze count. I have 1 Snowl, 1 Empin. Empin by far is the better one. But you do need a follow-up play if it's not going to be Slifer, and it's not always going to be, obviously, because you're not always going to have it in your hand. And it just feels like, again, I mentioned this in the gameplay video, it just feels like they changed these from Divine Beast to Winged Beast at the last second. I don't know why they would do that, but yeah, that's just kind of my general theory. Snow's fine, and it's more of just kind of to finish things up. I do run 3 of Eaglin, because you can normal summon this, go into Eaglin, and then go into these, so it's kind of a good play starter. And there's also cards that correlate for drawing cards, for getting your play started, so you do want your count to be a little high for those. Although I do only run 1 of the Stritch, because it's not a card that you're going to be able to consistently use first, right? You can target 1 card in either player's graveyard, banish it. It's kind of like a follow-up play, but maybe something you want to search going second when you want to go into Snow. Next, you have Token. This is a card that says you can target one of your Flundereeze cards. Again, it can be difficult to use on your turn 1, so that's why I have it at 1 as well. On to the spell cards, and as you guys can see, there is a whole bunch. I run 3 Pantheism, 3 the True Name, because you're trying to maximize that value. That's why you run cards like Pot of Duality and cards like Card of Advance, which you can hopefully get either one of the puzzle pieces to your hand through this card. 3 Exchanging Souls. You really want to, the best part, or let's just say the best angle that you can take it, is you normal summon maybe Empin, and then you set an Exchanging Souls with Slifer in your hand, because maybe you used True Name before. That way that's disruption, even more disruption during your opponent's turn. I used to run Thunder Force Attack at 3, but it's just so sacky, or bricky I should say, whatever you want to call it, simply because you're not going to be able to consistently get Slifer as much as you probably would want to. I run 2 March of the Monarch. So there's a few cards you can use here from the Monarch engine, and there's other cards that you can kind of take out here too, and I'll explain that in just a second. So the trap card that you special summon, that sounds great because it gives you 1 extra additional kind of tribute summon fodder, but you can't special summon the turn you use these cards, so that's out of the question. Monarch Stormforth, being able to tribute your opponent's cards is great, especially Exchanging Souls maybe. But you do want to go first because you want to lock your opponent out of the extra deck. So I would say this is probably the best card that you can use. It protects these because they don't have any protection, and also protects Slifer at the same time. And this card was in the structure deck too, so I guess you can pick that up if you really want to. Going on to another Dark Magical Circle, again, because Konami has simply not made a card that stacks the deck in favor of the Egyptian gods, and they think Card Advance is the ultimate card for that. And then here goes a couple more Flundereeze cards. I'll bundle these together. I don't want to run 3 of these truthfully, because the count is decent enough, right, for Flundereeze, but it's not perfect. And you can also, if you have the True Name in your hand and you really want a chance to kind of stack the deck, after your turn and you tribute summon and these are back in your hand, you can then activate this card and draw some cards and hopefully go from there. I do have the field spell here too. Something that it's almost too good at 1, I guess, or I don't know what the real way to say it is, but it's it's rare to meet the conditions, I suppose. But if you have this in your hand, most likely you're going to have at least 1 of these, but you don't want to have the ratio too high where it's not going to happen all that often. That's kind of the issue I ran into. I used to have this at a 2-to-1 ratio, and then I flipped it. Going on here, I have 3 Domain of the True Monarchs. That's pretty standard, I would say. And again, you'll notice that I don't have the Monarchs Erupt, and that's because you need to be able to use these effects on your follow-up churn, and you won't be able to otherwise. And that's what was kind of replaced by March of the Monarchs. And last, we do have the Flundereeze and the Scary Sea. This card's, it seems so good, right? It prevents your opponent from special summoning, but it's only specific ones, not ritual summoning, not really like the special summoning that you would think. It's like, oh, if they summon an XYZ monster or a Link monster, like that's what this trap card is for. So maybe you want to take this out and side some cards. Don't really have any like preferences for the way you side with this deck, but this is what I roll with at the current moment. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that deck profile. Like I said, tomorrow be sure to look out, for the kind of the Shadal Obelisk Winged Dragon of Ra stuff. But on that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.